Bridging the digital divide means connecting communities previously left off the information superhighway. To the people of Macha in rural Zambia, that bridge is in the person of Gertjan van Stam. Zambia is a landlocked southern African nation with a per capita income of $800. Poor and rural, Macha's primary challenge was to create roads and modern plumbing. Still, the village thirsted for the internet. Reacting to the local hospital's need to access the internet for malaria research, Mr. Van Stam marshalled his expertise and local resources to help make it possible. Soon he would go on and help build the country's rural internet cooperative, LinkNet Zambia. This internet co-op's users share the costs of local connection, infrastructure and maintenance. Van Stam is no stranger to the communications world. As a youngster in his native Holland, he tinkered with electronics and then amateur radio. His boyhood hobby became his field of expertise. After earning a degree in telecommunications, Van Stam began his career as a communications strategist for the Dutch terrestrial broadcast system Nozema. When Nozema became part of KPN Telecom, Van Stam became involved in the company's expansion and developed relationships with African telecom companies. Van Stam developed internet and GSM communication systems. It was his wife's work in medicine that would bring him to Macha. Here, Van Stam learned to let the community's needs take precedent. In Africa, the community benefits ahead of the individual.
My training was part of what I needed, not everything. It needs the whole person and everything you have learned in the past to bring together to find solutions for what the challenge you're coming up to. So my training has helped me to think rationally, but I had to learn to think relationally as the environment is. So I have to bring together the technology and the people components. And that is not necessarily what I was trained into, so I had to learn still a lot while being in the rural areas of Africa.
As Van Stam helped to introduce information and communication technology to Macha, life in the African village vastly improved. Now Macha has a library, a primary school, a radio station and a small airport. With his newly learned relationship-based economics, Van Stam sought to replicate the Macha model in over 10 villages, with his sights set on a further 200 locations throughout southern Africa. Another thing happened in Macha. The once quiet village has become a veritable informational hub, as leaders and engineers came from other Zambian communities and even from neighbouring Zimbabwe and South Africa. In Macha, they receive training and experience and share that knowledge with others in their communities. Internet connectivity has spurred regional growth and a communal exchange of ideas. Others may have just sought out a comfortable living in rural Zambia. Not Van Stam, whose problem-solving instincts sparked him to action.
That's seeing the need. When you're an engineer, you're focused on solving problems, solving needs, provide solutions to that. So when you live in the rural area of Africa, there are apparent needs. And as an engineer, you see solutions. So of course you're triggered to try those. And there you go. And then you get involved. And one leads to the other. So I would not think I could sit still as an engineer and just see the needs and thinking of all the education that has been invested in me and not go and act.
Gertjan van Stam followed his passion for engineering along a path that would enable him to help others in a place so unlike his own. He's just an example of the world that can unfold if you try engineering.